Welcome to the Anchor Folks Paddy's Night. What? Oh no, it's not. I've got it wrong again.
Looks like it's on there, doesn't it?
Yeah. Right. The haggis has been killed, so we'll be all right. And Ham's got to do a little chat about Rabbi Burns, who apparently was Scottish. So I've chosen a song that's appropriate to you. Oh, love is a burning thing, and it makes a fiery ring down my heart desire, fell into a ring of fire. I fell into a burning ring of fire. I went down. Yourselves, I didn't think you would. Anyway. Right. That's right. We haven't seen Carl perform for a while, so he's taken the plunge and got his guitar out again, and so a big hand for Carl!
Closest I get to Robbie Burns, I'm from north of Watford Gap. So this is a song about New Scotland. Farewell to Nova Scotia. Sun is setting in the west. No bird sang on any tree. Only nature seems inclined to rest. Still there is no rest for me. I grieve to leave my native shore. I grieve to leave my comrades all, and my poor parents who I love so dear, the bonny, bonny lass who I do adore. So farewell to Nova Scotia, that sea-bound coast. Let your mountains dark and dreary be, for when I am far away on the briny ocean tossed, will you ever heave a sigh and a wish for me? The drums do beat and the wars do alarm. Captain calls, I must obey. So farewell, farewell to Nova Scotia's charms. It's early in the morning, far, far away. I have 3 brothers, they are at rest. Their arms are folded o'er their breast. But a poor simple sailor just like me must be tossed and driven on the dark blue sea. So farewell to Nova Scotia, that sea-bound coast. Let your mountains dark and dreary be, for when I'm far away on the briny ocean tossed, will you ever heave a sigh and a wish for me? So farewell to Nova Scotia, that sea-bound coast. Let your mountains dark and dreary be, so when I'm far away on the briny ocean tossed, will you ever heave a sigh and a wish for me? Will you ever heave a sigh and a wish for me? This is the Burns one. Nobody else is doing it tonight. Not the one, not that one.
You could have Thursday.
No, it's not that one.
You could do the
This is called the Leaving. O'er the hill we stood. No, I'm going to start that again. O'er the hill, evening star tells but in time is near the glow. Howson frae the furrowed field turns say down and weary o. Down by the burn where Birkin woods, and you are hanging here, me Joe. I greet thee on the lee rig, my canny dearie o. Midnight hour in the Mercast Glen, I'd rove and there be rios. If through that glen I'd gae to thee, my canny dearie o. Where the lit hide me beyond the leeway. My canny Hunter loves the morning sun, raise the mountain deer, me Joe. Moon the fisher takes the glen, Moon the bird to stereo. An hour of gloaming days make me heart so cheerio. Tell me beyond the leeway, my ain't canny deario. The hour of gloaming day make me heart so cheerio. Tell me beyond the leeway, my ain't canny deario.
Right, you know you're having a bad day when you think, oh, tie my scarf around my waist like the Scots football crowd do. Oh dear. Right. Big hand for, and she's off the bottle. Mary!
Don't sit down because this is so quick. New Banks and Grays. I love this song and I've sung it since. New banks and braes, oh bonny doon, how can ye bloom, say fresh and fair, how can ye charm ye little birds, and I say will, full of care, thou break my heart, ye warbling bird, that wantons through the flowery glen, reminds me of departed joys, departed never to return. Oft have I rode by bonny Doon to see the rose and woodbine twine, and ilka bird sang of his love, and fondly say, did I own mine. With Lixon heart I pulled a rose, full sweet upon its thorny tree, but my false lover stole the rose, and he left the thorn with me.
That's the scarf.
Thanks, Mary. Mary, no, round the neck now. Oh, she's on the bottle again. Right, what we're going to do is going to get Cam up now to tell us a wee bit about Raddy Burns that he's got prepared. And then we'll have a mini break while the kitchen throws themselves into action, and we'll serve the haggis and that, or pipe the haggis in and serve it, and then we'll follow the evening with whatever I come to mind. Right, big hand for Cameron Brown!
Just making sure it's all.
Yes, I'm with you.
Chap has to do his best. For an audience. Now, despite my Christian name, I haven't got a drop of Scottish blood in me. So I told management that I couldn't produce the usual eulogy about Robbie Burns, but would do my best to give the audience kind of beginner's guide to Robbie Burns. And wouldn't take too long over it so that we can get on with the main point of the evening, which is drinking whiskey, eating haggis, singing a song or two. People have been celebrating the life of Robbie Burns with this sort of bacchanalia since 1801, when those first guests were served a tasty supper of sheep's head. Can't match that tonight. Now, you know Robbie Burns is Scotland's unofficial national poet, and he's an influential figure in world literature. But speeches at Burns' suppers tend to be based on the assumption that the audience is besotted by him and will react with a knowing nod to the mention of any poem he ever wrote and can sing along to all his songs. There's also an assumption that they can understand what he wrote, whereas most of it's incomprehensible to your average Sassenach. Our man was born on January the 25th, 1759, in Alloway, near Ayr, in Scotland. He, at that time, George II was on the throne, had less than a year to live. Britain was in the middle of the 7 Years' War with France and Spain. General Wolfe had just captured Quebec. British Museum was opened. Just a bit of background to what was going on. He grew up in a working class, or sort of working class, family. His father was a farmer, and not a wealthy one, but not an abjectly poor one either. He was a tenant farmer rather than an agricultural labourer. But young Robert grew up experiencing some of the challenges of rural life, and certainly lots of manual labour. He was the eldest of 7 children. And like most people of his background, he'll have had a modest education, though his father apparently taught all the children the basics of reading, writing, arithmetic, plus a bit of history and geography. So not your average poor country lad. I've read that his father's own interests inspired his love for poetry and song, but whilst trying to avoid stereotypes, I'm a little bit sceptical about that. They did have publicly funded schools in Scotland from the Reformation period onwards, and young Robert certainly attended one to the age of 14 or so. But he also attended one of Scotland's many unregulated private schools that were known as adventure schools, where he got his Latin and his French, which presumably his parents had to pay for. And he was sent to a private tutor for a few weeks and seems to have started writing poetry around that time. So again, he sounds less and less like a poor farmer's lad. Don't go to sleep, John, it gets better soon. We know his father couldn't settle very easily, and the family moved about a lot from farm to farm. Father died when Robbie was 25, and he and his brother had a brief go at running a farm, but it didn't work out. And after trying this, and trying the odd job here and there, he agreed to take a job as a bookkeeper in Jamaica, on a plantation. He, however, needed to raise money to get to Jamaica, and so he started work to get his first book of poetry published, and within a couple of years it was called Poems Chiefly in the Scottish Dialect, and it was a huge success. So he put off emigration for a short time before he was due to sail, and never did go to Jamaica. The first book actually includes the majority of the well-known poems, including The Address to the Haggis, and another shorter one, which Ian Zephyr confuses with The Address to the Haggis. It's called To a Mouse. But they may have something in common, I'm not dead sure. Let's have a look at To a Mouse. because it exemplifies a lot about Burns' style. It's short, it's in a vernacular language, not academic, not needing an education to understand it, so I thought it would suit you lot quite well. It's a very simple tale of a country life, but with a thoughtful philosophical reflection tacked on in the last verse. It's in Scots English, it's not in heavy-duty dialect, and I'm not going to attempt the accent. It's the reflections of the farmer whose plough disturbs a mouse's nest, and you probably all know it. We sleek it coer and timorous beastie, what a panic's in thy breastie. Thou need not start away so hasty with bickering prattle. I would be loath to run and chase thee with murdering battle. I'm truly sorry man's dominion has broken nature's social union and justifies that ill opinion which makes thee startle at me, thy poor earthborn companion and fellow mortal. I doubt not, whilst but thou may thieve, what then, poor beastie, thou must live. A daemon icker in a thrave, that means 1 ear of corn from a sheaf. It's a small request. I'll get a blessing with the lathe, I'll never miss it. The wee bit hoosey too, in ruin. Its silly walls the winds are strewing, and nothing now to build a new one of forage green. And bleak December's winds ensuing, both snell and keen. Thou saw the fields laid bare and waste, and weary winter coming fast, and cosy here beneath the blast thou thought to dwell, till crash, the cruel coulter, that's the ploughshare, passed out through thy cell. The wee bit a heap of leaves and stubble has cost thee many a weary nibble. Now thou's turned out for all that trouble, from house or hold, to hold a winter's sleety dribble, a cranach's cold, that's hoarfrost's cold. But mousie, thou'rt no alone. Improving foresight may be vain. The best laid schemes of mice and men gang off to glee, and leave us naught but grief and pain for promised joy. Still, thou'rt blessed compared with me. The present only toucheth thee, but I backward cast my eye on prospects drear, and forward, though I cannot see, I guess and fear. I expect a 500-word essay on that next week. For the few years leading up to this publication of his poetry, he'd been busy with the ladies. He'd actually written his first poem we know of at age 15, entitled Once I Loved a Bonny Lass. So he may have been a bit precocious. But by the mid-1780s, when he's in his mid-20s, he's had his first child with his mother's maid. That's a maidservant. Again, not such a poor farming family. About the same time as that, he was having an affair with someone called Jean Armour, who was the daughter of a local stonemason. And she was already pregnant with their twins. They actually married 2 years later and had a further 7 children, of which only 3 survived. But at the same time as that, they actually married 2 years. But still, he was active with another true love during those 2 years before he married her. And this time it was a Mary Campbell, who he also offered to marry, and for whom he wrote several poems. But that didn't work out, as she died of typhus, and she was only 20. All this was happening in 1786, the year before he publishes his book of poetry. So presumably, he's still planning to slip off to Jamaica. Well, to work in getting his poems published, he's moved to Edinburgh. And he's made lots of friends there, and he's had several more affairs with local ladies, and occasionally their servants, another of whom gives him a son. In 1788, now he's a published poet, but still with uncertain financial prospects. So he moves to Dumfries, he marries Jean Armour, the one who gave him the twins, and he gets a proper job working for Customs and Excise, whilst continuing to write poetry and becoming ever more famous. The following year, he writes his masterpiece, Tam O'Shanter. This is a ballad in dialect. You don't have to admit you haven't read it. It's a ballad in dialect which tells the story of a farmer encountering witches whilst riding home from the pub after a night of boozing. I had to smile when I found a piece in Glasgow University page, a lit crit about Tam O'Shanter, saying the poem is considered a landmark of Scottish literature and celebrates the Scottish people's love of drink and the communal life of the public house. It's said Robbie Burns liked to drink, and he certainly managed to write about it often enough. He did a short one in his mid-20s. It's called Scotch Drink, so you know what that's about. Gie him strong drink until he wink, that's sinking in despair, and liquor good to fire his blood that's pressed with grief and care. There let him bowse and deep, I think that's booze, bowse and deep carouse with bumpers flowing o'er, till he forgets his loves or debts and minds his griefs no more. Now we know him for his songs too, not just his poetry, and not just his poems set to music, but also works for which he composed the music. A couple of years after the publication of the poems, chiefly in the Scottish dialect, he's now around 30 years old, and he's asked to contribute lyrics for a collection called The Melodies of Scotland. And he clearly found this easy and enjoyable, and he provided his own lyrics, or he adapted from traditional works. He went on putting words to Scottish melodies and airs which he'd collected and documented, also composing his own arrangements of music, using modified tunes, recreating melodies on the basis of fragments. In other words, he was doing exactly what Cecil Sharp would do 100 years later. A lot of his work is deeply engaged with political and social issues of his time. He was a vocal critic of inequalities and injustices which he saw in society, particularly those related to class and the treatment of the poor. His sympathy for the oppressed is there in works like The Slave's Lament, about the inhumanity of slavery. It's funny that he was going to go and work on a plantation. And Is There for Honest Poverty, which is a call for social justice for the common man. Many of his songs were overtly political and caused a stir at the time. What we'd call protest songs in the 60s. He was a big admirer of Thomas Paine, and A Man's a Man for All That was based on Paine's The Rights of Man. He was never an active revolutionary himself, but he was a supporter of radical political movements of his day and sympathised openly with the French and American revolutions. One of these political poems, if I can borrow your guitar, please. Carl, I've only got 100 guitars, I forgot to bring one with me. One of his political poems was A Parcel of Rogues, which if Trevor had been here and not in Australia, we'd have sung together. But as he isn't, thanks. I'll put it on, stop me dropping it. One of these Parcel of Rogues, and the story behind it is that the reason why the Parliament of Scotland were persuaded to sign the Act of Union with England in 1707 was that a significant number of them were losing their fortunes through it was a sort of Ponzi scheme, a fraudulent investment scheme, and the English Parliament agreed to bail them out in exchange for their agreement to sign the Act of Union. And Burns contrasts their treachery to the country with the tradition of martial valour and resistance associated with Scottish heroes like Robert the Bruce and William Wallace. So, as I haven't done another song, I thought I'd do this one and sing along, because you probably all know it. Farewell to all our Scottish fame, farewell our ancient glory, farewell unto our Scottish name, say famed in martial glory. Now Sark runs over the Solway sand, and Tweed runs to the ocean, to mark where England's province stands. Such a parcel of rogues in a nation, what force of guile could not subdue through many wars? ages is wrought now by a coward few for hireling traitors' wages. The English steel we could this day secure in valor station, but English gold has been our bane, such a parcel of rogues in nation. Oh, would or I had seen the day that treason thus could sell us. My old grey head would be lying in the clay with Bruce and noble Wallace, but peace and power till my last hour I'll make this declaration: we were bought and sold for English gold, such a parcel of rogues in a nation. Thank you. So, that's a nice guitar, Carl. I might take that one home with me. Think of Robbie Burns as a Woody Guthrie, or a Pete Seeger, or a Bob Dylan of his day. Thanks, Carl. I mean, the work of all four of them, thanks, was designed, at least in the beginning, Bob Dylan's case, to be simple and comprehensible, and in local language, and influenced by tradition. And in Burns's case, obviously, Scottish tradition. He'd composed by singing tunes before writing them down, what we'd call a singer-songwriter today. So, Auld Lang Syne, My Love Is Like a Red, Red Rose, probably his most famous ones. You'll know lots of the others, though, and you might hear some tonight. Scots Wha Hae, Green Grow the Rushes O, Coming Through the Rye. Some of them were quite rude. There was even a book of bawdy Scottish songs called The Merry Muses of Caledonia, which I'm going to try and get a copy of. Despite his success, he's believed to have been a depressive. And he was certainly not the strongest of men, and he died in 1796 in Dumfries at the age of 37. Through his 5 surviving children out of 12 born, he's reckoned to have over 1,000 living dependents, but don't ask me how they work that out. Because if some of them have been as prolific as him, it'd be a hell of a lot more than that. I plan to bring these ramblings to a close with an extract from another political historical song, the Skye Boat Song. And the reason for that was it's the first song I ever sang to a public audience on a stage. And it was to a talent contest somewhere in Llandudno, where we were on holiday in 1958. I was 10 years old. I had a tweedy green suit with short trousers, and I didn't win. But when I checked, I actually found out that Skye Boat Song had no connection whatsoever with Robbie Burns. So I'm not going to sing it. So, through his songs and poems, he has become an enduring symbol of Scottish identity and pride. On my one business trip ever to Scotland, one of the Russians heard my name and said, "You, Robbie Burns, Robbie Burns." And they all knew Robbie Burns. They celebrated Burns Night in Moscow. So, he's big for the Scottish diaspora, which we normally have more of here tonight. Anyway, I will now close with the traditional toast. Please raise a glass with me to the immortal memory of Robbie Burns. Robbie Burns. I'll knock back my vodka. Thank you.
Thank you, Cam, for a wonderful lesson in sex and debauchery. And I've taken notes.
Rollers in my hair, plastic rollers.
Quiet, please. Fair fire, honest, sonsy face, great chieftain of the pudding race. I boon them all tak your place, Pawn Street or Therm. Well are you worthy of a grace as long as my arm. The groaning trencher there you fill, your herd is like a distant hill. Your pen would help to mend a mill in time of need, while through your pores the dews distill like honey bead. His knife! There it is. See rustic labour dight and cup you up with steady slight, drenching your gushing entrails bright like honey ditch. And then, oh, what a glorious sight, warm, reeking, rich. Then horn for horn they stretch and strive, deal take the hindmost, on they drive, till their wheels swallowed kites beliver bent like drums. And all goodmen most like to rive, bethank it hums. Is there the or his French ragout, or olio that would stow a sow, or fricassee would make her spew with perfect scunner, looks down with sneering scornful view on such a dinner? Poor Dale, see him o'er his trash, as feckless as a withered rash, his spindle shank a good whiplash, his neave a knit, through bloody flood or field to dash, oh how unfit. But mark the rustic haggis fed, the trembling earth resounds his thread, clapping his wheeling eve a blade, he'll make it whistle, and legs and arms and heads will snade like tops of thistle. Ye powers that make mankind your care and dish 'em out their bill of fare, old Scotland wants nae skinking ware that jops in luggies, but if you wish a grateful prayer, gie her a haggis. Will you join me in a toast to the haggis? There will now be a short intermission.
Fix.
That sellotape works well, Chris. Right. Block that out of the way. Big hand for Mari and Susie.
There's one more haggis here if anybody wants some.
Hey, listen, can I offer one more toast to management and catering?
Are you finished toasting now? I don't think anybody's fallen off the chair. This reminds me of going to my mother-in-law's wake. My first husband was Irish, and I went to the wake, and they kept lining up the drinks. You get a pint of Guinness and a whiskey chaser pint, and if I haven't finished soon enough, when the next round comes in, it was all stacking up on the table. And I said, "Oh no more. I can't drink any more." They said, "Why not?" And I said, "Well, because I'll fall off this chair." And they said, "Sure, you can sit on this little one down here." Shocking. Okay, right, so we're going to sing a Chris Drever song, Broad Sailing. There's chorus, good chorus for you to sing. It's broad sailing on the sea, when wind and weather's fair. It's better to be in my love's arms.
Arms.
Oh, gin that I were there. That means I would like to be there. Right.
We've done it, haven't we? Yeah, it's all right.
Come on then. There came a letter, yet the stream, the ship won't sail the sea. Alas, cried the bonny lass, that ever I was born. And this broad sailing on the sea, and wind and weather's fair, it's better to be in my love's arms. Oh, gin that I was there. And he's come to her father's house at 12 o'clock at noon. The lassie being brute-hearted, she would not let him in. Your turn. And his broad sailing on the sea, with wind and weather's fire, it's better to be in my love's arms. Oh, good that I were there. So he's ta'en a ring from his pocket, it cost him guineas 3, saying, "Tacky that, my bonny lass, and I think well of thee." And his broad sailing on the sea, in wind and weather's fair, it's better to be in my love's arms. Oh, gin that I were there. Then she's taken a ring from her pocket, it cost her shillings 9, saying, "Tack ye that, my bonny lad, for I have changed my mind." And it's broad sailing on the sea, in wind and weather fair, it's better to be in my love's arms. Oh, gin that I was there. Thank you very much.
I heard people singing.
Go, go, go. Oh. They're still on their chairs.
They're still on their chairs. Expecting the standing ovation.
Not enough whiskey drunk.
I'll do my best.
Thank you, ladies. Mary and Susan. Right. Let them get set. She's probably going to hit Ian round the head with her crutch. He's not there. Right. Vivi.
No guitar, because I ain't doing anything. I know nothing Scottish. But Richard is going to do something. But I just wanted to tell the story about it first. Thanks to Cameron for explaining, I had no idea. Especially about the mouse poem. Because the only mouse poem I know is the one Alf read. I think it was this time last year. And I loved it so much because I'm a spreadsheet freak. Sorry. And I loved it so much. The only mouse I know, of course, is although I don't use it anymore. And so I said, "Oh, can I have the poem? I mean, tell me who it was, etc., etc." And next time I ran into him, he brought me this. So I treasure it. But of course, Richard is the best placed to be able to read poetry. So Richard's going to do it.
No guitar.
reminded me. I've got a gig at Hersham on Tuesday. You guys know Hersham. If you're free, come along. Thanks.
I'm just thinking this is so much of Scotland is about drink, probably rather unfairly, really. But I used to work at the Clyde submarine base in Scotland for a while, and I used to stay in Greenock, which is just across the Clyde. There's a ferry that runs from Greenock to the Clyde submarine base. This is a nuclear base, remember? But the bar is open on the ferry. It only takes about 7 or 8 minutes for the ferry to go across, but I used to watch the people there that were handling these great cranes with submarines and no doubt a lot of munitions as well, and they would drink on the way. The times, it's a different world, isn't it? Wow, terrifying. I can't do the Robbie Burns accent, but I'm going to give it a go. This is really, Alf is sadly not with us, but he is kind of, and this was lovely. It expresses his sense of humour. To a computer mouse. With apologies to Robbie Burns, maybe he would have approved of it. We sleek it cowrin timorous beastie of faded plastic, all pale and yeasty. With 2 wee buttons and a beveled wheel, I really love the way you feel. Against my hand as you roll around, your wee mouse mat with near a sound. It's true there's cracks now in your casing, and your roller ball may need replacing, but still you plough on strong and tireless, whilst those around you are all now wireless. Then suddenly, with nail warning, in an act made of the devil's spawning, where once it was upon the screen, your little arrow can nae be seen. Blood pressure rising and lips a pursing. Instead of cursor, there is now cursing. And now your wheel is also sticking, despite my frantic button clicking. But unfortunately, this sort of trick cannot be cured with a double click. The system's crashed, and there's just one route. Control-Alt-Delete. And then reboot. We sleek it cowrin timorous beastie of faded plastic, all pale and yeasty, sitting smugly on your wee mouse mat. You're nae mouse of mine, you dirty rat.
Well, I'm glad to say the Banjolele boys are not here today. Unfortunately, they sent their Scottish cousins down. So, would you give a hand to the Scottish Banjolele boys?
Thank you, Dr. Finley.
Hi, Janet, get on with the washing.
Now, we are going to do a Scottish song. I got this song from the Stanley Baxter book of Glasgow Humour. And I translated it into English, but with a few Scottish bits put in. And I've got to explain it a bit. It'll probably take longer to explain than it'll do to the song. The song is called the Jelly Peace Song. Now, if anybody understands that...
Julie.
A sandwich in Scotland is called a piece, and jam is called jelly. So the Jelly Peace song would be a jam sandwich song. And how it came about was traditionally, when children were playing out in the streets in Scotland outside the tenements, when it came lunchtime, their mums didn't want to call them in, so they'd open the window and fling out a jam sandwich. Or a jelly piece, as they called it. Or it might be a cheese, or it might be whatever. Which was fine, that went down well, until they cleared away the tenements and put them in tower blocks. And then they found there was a problem. Right, so we'll give it a go. Now, we learnt this yesterday. And we'll start off with the chorus. There's about 20 verses, but we're only going to do 3.
Yeah.
Right, are we ready?
We could be.
Oh, you can't fling pieces from a 20-story flat. Children playing down below will testify to that. If it's butter, jam or cheese, bread is round or 'cause I'm getting one less meal every day. Oh, you cannot flee pieces from a 20-story flat. Children playing down below will testify to that. If it's butter, jam or cheese, the bread is brown or plain, it gets blown up by the wind and is never seen again. Our first gave him half an ounce a piece of Hovis brown. It came flying out the window and went straight up, knocked down. But every 27 hours it comes back into sight. The piece went into orbit and became a satellite. Oh, you cannot flee pieces from a 20-story flat. Children playing down below will testify to that. If it's butter, jam or cheese, the bread is brown or plain, it gets blown up by the wind and is never seen again. On the second day, Mama flung me a piece out once again. It went and hit the pilot of an old flying plane. He scraped it off his goggle, shouting through the intercom, the Clydesdale Reds have got me with a bread and jelly bomb. Oh, you cannot fling pieces from a 20-story flat. Children playing down below will testify to that. If it's butter, jam or cheese, the bread is brown or plain, it gets blown up by the wind and is never seen again. Anyone do that? On the third day, my Lord, she'd try another throw, but the Salvation Army were playing down below. On the Christian soldiers was the place they should have played, but the umpire man was playing a piece of marmalade. Oh, you cannot fling pieces from a 20-story flat. Children playing down below will testify to that. If it's butter, jam or cheese, the bread is brown or plain, it gets blown up by the wind and is never seen again. If you cannot fling pieces from a 20-story flat. Children playing down below will testify to that. If it's butter, jam or cheese, the bread is brown or plain, it gets blown up by the wind and is never seen again. Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, that was a glass Well, they were so good, I don't think we want the Banjolele boys back, do we? We'll stick with the Scottish bunch. Right. Somewhere here. No, well, no, I got confused.
When you say yes,
Do you want the stool?
I thought the Banjolele guys were doing twos.
I caught him out. Who's following them? I won't know.
Eeny, meeny, miny,
Eeny, meeny, miny. John, can you follow Chris?
Don't you dare.
Right, big hand for Chris Harris!
Right. Many years ago, when I was young, many years ago, I remember a song. Hang on, where's my phone? No, we're right. A song which I think it was Andy Stewart that did, which you'll all know, which was. Not that one. Oh, gone. Yeah.
So who are you phoning anyway?
Nobody. Which went, when the wind blows high, let the wind blow low. Through the streets of McKill I'll go. Oh, then I should say hello. And it was only yesterday, or the other day, I realised that I always thought when I was young, I thought it meant Donald wears your trousers, like Donald is wearing your trousers. No, seriously, that's what I thought. But that makes sense because grammatically it must be Donald. Where are your trousers? So, the fact I thought that was Donald. Where's your trousers? Was right. Then he was wrong. Anyway, I think the song needed rewriting. So. Well, I've just come up from the Isle of Wight to be with you all on this special night. But hang on, man, something's not quite right. Of course, it's a Sassenach Burns night. Way up north there's rain and snow. We're way down south and we're all aglow. Through the streets of Woking we will go away to the Sassenach Burns night. Thursday night and this evening's plan is for Robbie's life to be told again. Many times we've heard but still we can't remember his birth date. We'll wear tartan dress in style, put up with bagpipes for a while. Tonight we're Scottish as Carlisle. Oh, at the Sassenach Burns night. Where we've hunted high, we've hunted low, through the shops to the tills we'll go. We've a Waitrose haggis, I'll have you know, at the Sassenach Burns night. I heard a rumour on TV, now the northern colony's not for me. They've let lions loose just outside Dundee, or was it lynx? Anyway, at the Sassenach Burns night. Well, I've just come up from the Isle of Wight to celebrate with you all tonight and hear the English talking shite at the Sassenach Burns night. Amazon have done well for these this year. Hello there, Kim. Are you here for this Burns supper, Kim? Do you ken Robbie Burns, Kim?
Och, I ken Robbie Burns, Ken. I was a great fan of his father, George Burns.
No, George Burns wasn't his father. I think it was Jimmy.
What? Jimmy Cranky was Robbie Burns' dad?
No, Jimmy Cranky was Walt Disney's dad.
Are you sure? I thought he was Bing Crosby's dad. Or was it Walt Disney?
Bing Crosby, Walt Disney. What's the difference?
The difference between Bing Crosby and Walt Disney? That's easy. Bing sings and Walt Disney.
Oh, you're right.
Oh, I like him. He's great.
Oh, who's that then, Kim?
Kenneth McKellar, Ken. Do you ken Kenneth McKellar, Ken?
Oh, I ken Kenneth McKellar, all right, Kim. What's he been up to, Kim?
He's been dancing the can in Canada, Ken. I didn't know Kenneth McKellar could do the can, Ken. Did you ken that, Ken?
Oh, I ken that Kenneth McKellar can do a can, Kim.
Can, now. Isn't that your surname, Ken?
I ken McCann, that's me.
Can you do the can, Ken?
No, none of my clan, the clan McCann, could do the can, Kim. They just can. It's a conundrum, Kim, but I don't know, Ken, why, but when it comes to the can, it's a no for the clan McCann.
Well, I didn't know that the clan McCann can do the can, Ken, unlike Kenneth McKellar, who can certainly do a can, as I can ken from this piece in that there paper.
What's he doing in the photo, Kim?
Well, would you believe he's on the toilet?
You mean to say that Kenneth McKellar is in Canada doing it on the can, Kim? Or rearranged, almost.
Nah, I think he's on the can, just having a crap Ken.
Crap Ken, oh, that was my nickname at the school. I was always being called Crap Ken. I have fond memories. Oh, well, the things they print these days. Would you care for a coffee, Kim?
Is it Kenco coffee, Ken? Oh. That's Kenco coffee, it's canny coffee, and it comes in a can, Ken.
I thought it came in a jam jar, Jim.
Well, my name's not Jim, Ken. What are you thinking of?
My mistake.
What? What's that you've got there, Ken? What's that you've got there, Ken? You can't get
What you see? It's my Scottish MP3 player. It's called an iPod.
Do you recall we met before in that panto? Not much of a panto, was it really?
No, you're right. You expect a little more action. You usually have a young woman dressed as a man.
And an old woman who's really a man.
Aye, strange English tradition that. Men dressing up in women's clothing.
I just remembered. I must get me kilts from the dry cleaners. So, time for me to be away, Ken. Can you call me a cab, Ken?
Okay, so you're a cab, Kim. But I don't know why you want to be a cab, Kim.
I don't want to be a cab, Ken. I just want you to call me a cab, Ken.
I see. You don't want me to call you a cab, Kim. You just want me to call you a cab, Kim. I think you're losing the plot.
There's no need to get cantankerous,
I'm
Ken.
not getting
I
cantankerous,
think
Kim.
you are, Ken. You're as cantankerous as that time when Kenneth McKellar couldn't do the canning Camberley, Ken.
You're talking crap, Ken.
No, you're talking crap, Ken.
Oh, no, come out, sir. We'll find out who's talking crap.
I'm about to lose my temper with
You're losing, sir. You're cantankerous.
Right. Oh, grab your bits. Okay.
One. Only do one. I only know one Scottish song.
Big hand for John Tower.
I only really looked at this song today, so don't raise your expectations. It's not about a defunct Scottish airline, apparently. Caledonia. Right. Hang on to your hat, your tam o' shanter. This is a lovely song, actually, I think. It's not at all funny. I don't know if you can see the changes that come over me. These last few days I've been afraid that I might drift away. I've been telling stories, singing songs that make me think where I come from. That's the reason why I seem so far away today. Let me tell you that I love you, that I think about you all the time. Caledonia, you're calling me back home. Whoops. But if I should become a stranger, know that it would make me more than sad. Caledonia, been everything I've ever had. Now I have moved and kept on moving, proved the points that I needed proving, lost the friends that I needed losing, found others on the way. I have kissed the ladies and left them crying, stolen dreams, yes, there's no denying. I've travelled hard, sometimes with conscious flying, somewhere with the wind. Let me tell you that I love you, that I think about you all the time. Caledonia, you're calling me, I'm going home. But if I should become a stranger, know that it would make me more than sad. Caledonia, been everything I've ever had. Now I'm sitting here before the fire, the empty room of Forest Square. The flames that couldn't get any higher. They've withered now, they've gone. But I'm steady thinking, my way is clear, and I know that I will soon do tomorrow. When hands have shaken and kisses flown, then I will disappear. Let me tell you that I love you, that I think about you all the time. Caledonia, you're calling me, now I'm going home. If I should become a stranger, know that it would make me more than sad. Caledonia's been everything I've ever had. One more time. Let me tell you that I love you, that I think about you all the time. Caledonia, you're calling me, now I'm going home. If I should become a stranger, know that it would make me more than sad. Caledonia's been everything I've ever had. Well sung, yeah.
I keep waiting for somebody to do another song. I'm getting caught out here. Right, a big hand for wee Sue Grid.
And I'm going to break with my long-held tradition.
Oh, sorry, I didn't
no,
know.
that's absolutely fine. Just for the first one, because I've never sung this one before. Well, it's been a fabulous evening, and thanks again to everybody who's worked so hard to put it all on, and everybody who's worked slaved away in the kitchen, and Cameron's presentation was just spot on. I thought lovely, and the Kens. I've got 2 Burns songs and 1 Karine Polwart song. She's definitely Scottish. So I'm going to start with a song that Hector used to, and it's lovely to have Shona and Stephen here representing the Gilchrist clan. This is a song that Hector used to sing, and it's got a great chorus. It's Green Grow the Rushes, though. It was mentioned in one of the songs that Cameron mentioned. Excuse me. And he always used to draw attention to the final verse, which I'll just read. I'm not going to attempt to read it with a Scottish accent, but it's old nature swears the lovely. So it's all about his admiration for the ladies, and but not only was he a ladies' man, but he obviously admired them, because I think the last line is rather lovely. It's, old nature swears the lovely dears her noblest work she classes o. Her apprentice hand she tried on man, and then she made the lasses o. So he was a bit of a feminist deep down. So please sing on the chorus. This is an abridged version, I have to say. Green grow the rushes, oh, green grow the rushes, oh, the sweetest hours that e'er I spent among the lasses, oh. Do that one again. Green grow the rushes, oh, green grow the rushes, oh, the sweetest hours that e'er I spent among the lasses, oh. There's naught but care on every hand, in every hour that passes, oh. What signifies the life of man, and 'twere not for the lasses, oh. Green grow the rushes, oh, green grow the rushes, oh, the sweetest hours that e'er I spent among the lasses, oh. The warly race may riches chase, and riches may still flay them all, and though at last they catch them fast, their hearts can ne'er enjoy them, oh. Green grow the rushes, oh, green grow the rushes, oh, the sweetest hour that e'er I spent was spent among the lasses, oh. Old Nature swears the lovely dears her noblest work she classes, oh. Her apprentice hand she tried on man, and then she made the lasses, oh. Green grow the rushes, oh, green grow the rushes, oh, the sweetest hours that e'er I spent among the lasses, oh. Thank you for singing along. Very much. Well, now Corinne Polwart. I know Hector was a big fan, and I'm going to see her at the Palladium in March, along with Mary Chapin Carpenter and Julie Fowlis. A transatlantic combination. Anyway, this is one of her older songs, and it's got great chorus, and I'm sure lots of you know it. It's "Follow the Heron Home." Pack of the winter is broken, and light lingers long by the door. The seeds of the summer have spoken in gowans that bloom by the shore. By night and day we'll sport and we'll play and delight as the dawn dances over the bay. Sleep blows the breath of the morning away, and we'll follow the heron home. In darkness we cradled our sorrow, and stoked all our fires with fear. But the bones that lie empty and hollow are ready with gladness to cheer. By night and day we'll sport and we'll play and delight as the dawn dances over the bay. Sleep blows the breath of the morning away, and we'll follow the heron home. So long may you sing of the salmon and snow-scented sands of your hall, while the north wind delivers its sermon of ice and salt water and storm. By night and day we'll sport and we'll play and delight as the dawn dances over the bay. Sleep blows the breath of the morning away, and we'll follow the heron and delight as the dawn dances over the bay. Sleep blows the breath of the morning away, and we'll follow the heron home, and we'll follow the heron home. Thank you very much. And can I just encourage people to come along and see Vivi on Tuesday of next week at the Hersham Social Club, which is a lovely venue. And is that your first solo spot there?
No, but it's been a while.
Right, lovely. Right, okay, this is a song that I always considered was Hector's song. And it's my favourite Burns song, definitely. Oh, my love is like a red, red rose that's newly sprung in June. Oh, my love is like a melody that's sweetly played in tune. As fair thou art, my bonny love, so deep in love am I, and I will love thee still, my dear, till all the seas can dry, till all the seas can dry, my dear, till all the seas can dry. And the rocks melt with the sun, and I will love thee still, my dear, though the sands of life shall run. As fair thou art, my bonny love, so deep in love am I. Till all the seas can dry.
Right.
Scottish.
I thought you enjoyed my song so much earlier on, I'd do it again. Because I like the tune. I don't know any Scottish jokes. Right. This is either going to be good or bad. And you'll find out in a second.
Your hat.
I need to concentrate. Right. Salsa is a burning thing, and it makes a fiery ring. I ate to my heart's desire, and then came the ring of fire. taste of salsa's neat, but it burns on the toilet seat. Damn those Mexicans for the pain here on the pan. Chocolate ice cream didn't put out the fire. I went down, 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 and the flame went higher, and it burned, burned, burned. The ring of fire, the ring of fire. Toilet paper is in the fridge to cool that fiery sink, but it was to no avail, so I sat in a watery pail. My mouth turned to a burning ring of fire. I went down, 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 and the flames went higher, and it burned, burned, burned. The ring of fire, the ring of fire, and it burned, burned, burned. The ring of fire, the ring of fire. First time it's ever been performed out of my bedroom. There you go. Right. Christopher. Oh. Michael. Are you ready, son?
Behind you.
Come on, Peachy.
Fill your hole, boys, let her go, boys, bring her head round the wall together. Fill your hole, boys, let her go, boys, sailing homeward to England. You there?
Yeah, you carry on.
What can we have? Wipe the midges. What can we for window weather? As for boys, every inches closer home to England. Fill your hole, boys, let her go, boys, bring her head round the wall together. Fill your hole, boys, let her go, boys, sailing homeward to England. Wives are waiting on the mantel, gazing seawards from the heather. All around, boys, and we'll anchor in the sunsets of England. Fill your hole, boys, let her go, boys, bring her head round the warm weather. Fill your hole, boys, let her go, boys, sailing homeward to England. Sailing homeward to England.
Like that.
You play that.
I'll take Mike's guitars. I've got to go out and get mine.
Right, you play that. We're going to do that tune. Remember the tune?
Oh, yeah.
This is a Lindisfarne tune called Scotch Mist. So it must be vaguely Scottish. It's the only Scottish tune I know.
Oh. Should I go? Right.
Ignore that, that's a different song we just done.
We've been practicing this all week, and there was something niggling me, and it was mainly all the chords that were in. So I decided that I wouldn't go near them until Chris got hold of me yesterday.
You ready?
No, I'm still talking.
All right. Okay.
Anyway, I was talking about the Burns night and the haggis and everything else, and we all started to learn at that point, I think, because there were lots of funny-looking instruments and worse-looking people, and there was one occasion that will always stay in my memory, and certainly Maureen's memory, is the day that a guy wanted to get into the club, and he wasn't at all able to come into the club upstairs and sit down and play. We still don't know what he was playing, but it was a guitar of some description, and he couldn't pay to get in. So. And Maureen was on the table at the top of the stairs, and this guy came up to her and said, "Can I come into the folk club, please?" "Yes, of course you can. Have you got any money with you?" He had one or two issues, put it that way. And he said, "No, I ain't got any money." I said, "Well, all right. We were supposed to take money off you so that you..." And he said, "I've got some courgettes." And that was it. The rest of the night was just a mess. So it's a bit like.
Right, you're going to play that now. You're right.
No, I'm done. Who's next? Oh,
you are. We're ready.
Well, how can I just get?
It's in G.
It's in G. Give us any money for that. This lady here, she's just said, yeah, I'll pay.
Thank you, the Achtermachty and Eckelfeckin Quartet.
Don't be fucking called me a fucking Keckle. and whatever he's got that into your mind, you see.
Yes. Is that your capo?
It's mine.
No,
It's Sue's, right.
no, it's quite a nice one. Worth nicking. Oh, I'm knackered. I'm knackered. Who was that? Who was that?
Oh, that's John.
Chris's.
Mine. That's the mine.
That's mine.
Precious.
Right. Good night, everybody. Good night.
Thank you. Sue's going to give us one more. Thank you very much, Sue.
I've run out of I've run out of Burns songs. So this is by the well-known Scotsman Bob McDillan. I think this should be a folk club anthem. Please join in, and it's one that I used to sing with Hector. May God bless and keep you always. May your wishes all come true. May you always do for others and let others do for you. May you build a ladder to the stars, climb on every rung, and may you stay forever young. May you grow up to be righteous. May you grow up to be true. May you always know the truth and see the light surrounding you. May you always be courageous, stand upright and be strong, and may you stay forever young. Forever young. Forever young. May you stay forever young. May you stay forever young. May your hands always be busy. May your feet always be swift. May you have a strong foundation when the winds of changes shift. May your heart always be joyful. May your song always be sung. May you stay forever young. Forever young. Forever young. May you stay forever young. Forever young. Forever young. May may you stay forever young. Thank you very much.
I was asking you the other week to think of interesting facts about yourself. Here's one about me. I hate people who can sing 8 octaves higher than I can. Other than that, she sings nice, doesn't she? Right. Janet and Tony, come and give us a couple of songs. Finish about 10 past.
Okay, maybe we might get through, we'll see.
We're
just doing as we're told here. Right, well, we've all heard how Robbie Burns was a very naughty boy. But I'm glad to say he was very proud of it. He wasn't a bit embarrassed about it. In fact, he positively boasted, as you will hear from this song. Right. Hey, jovial boys who love the joys, the blissful joys of lovers, yet dare deny with lying eye when the bonny lass discovers that for her sake this vow I'll make, solemnly declares that while I own a single crown, I am a fornicator. I pray draw near and lend an ear and welcome in a friend, sir. I've lately been in quarantine, a proven fornicator. As the chorus. With rueful face and signs of grace, I paved the butterfly. The night was dark, and through the park I could not but convey her. My downcast eye, my charms did spy, it made my lips to water. Those limbs so clean, where I between commenced a fornicator. I pray draw near and lend an ear and welcome in a friend, sir. I've been in quarantine, a proven fornicator. I'm talking all evening, I can't sing a note. A parting kiss, what could I less? My vows began to scatter. My Betsy fell, I loved her well, I am a fornicator. My bonny lass upon the grass, I'll teach to ease her master, with no reward but for regard. I am a fornicator. I pray draw near and lend an ear and welcome in our friends. Lately been in quarantine, a proven fornicator. Your warlike kings and heroes bold, great captains and commanders, your mighty Caesars, famed of old, and conquering Alexanders. In fields they fought, and laurels bought, and bulwarks strongly battered, but still they graced our noble list, and ranked as fornicators. I pray noughties. I went, I can't sing that. Shall we do?
Yeah.
Right, well, we're not going to be lyrical because my voice is completely gone.
This is not a Burns song.
Where's my water?
It's not even a Scottish song, but it's a song by Richard Thompson.
Oh.
But it does reference a certain gentleman who you may have heard of called Jimmy Shane.
Ah. Right. I saw you come rolling in. You had that six-pack in the stranglehold. Now you stagger, now you sway. Why don't you fall the other way? I've got something here worth more than gold. Don't sit on my Jimmy Shans. Don't sit on my Jimmy Shans. They got men with sticky tape and glue. Don't sit on my Jimmy Shans. Don't sit on my Jimmy Shans. That's my very best advice to you. Call me precious, I don't mind. 78s are hard to find. Just can't get the shellac since the war. This one's the Beltona brand, finest label in the land. Just don't make them like that anymore. Don't sit on my Jimmy Shans. Don't sit on my Jimmy Shans. They don't make the sticky tape and glue. Don't sit on my Jimmy Shans. Don't sit on my Jimmy Shans. That's my very best advice to you. Darling, though you're twice my size, I don't mean to patronise. Come on, let me lead you by the hand. Find a lap or find a chair, you can park them anywhere. Just don't rest your cheeks against my man. Don't sit on my Jimmy Shans. Don't sit on my Jimmy Shans. They don't make me sticky tape and glue. Don't sit on my Jimmy Shans. Don't sit on my Jimmy Shans. That's my very best advice for you. That's why they invite him, I suppose. Wolfie Strathways, jigs and reels. Now you know how good it feels. Crank the handle, wave, oh, there it goes. Don't sit on my Jimmy Shans. Don't sit on my Jimmy Shans. They don't men with sticky tape and glue. Don't sit on my Jimmy Shans. Don't sit on my Jimmy Shans. That's my very best advice to you. Don't sit on my Jimmy Shans. Don't sit on my Jimmy Shans. They don't make the sticky tape and glue. Don't sit on my Jimmy Shans. Don't sit on my Jimmy Shans. That's my very best advice to you. Up, I think we're in time, are we? We're going to do Old Lang Syne. But we are going to do it to the traditional tune, the Scottish traditional tune. Right. Which I'm hoping you know. I think you'll pick it up if you haven't. Should old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind? Should old acquaintance be and through the gowans fine, and we've wandered many a weary foot since old Lang Syne. We twa hae paddled in the burn from morning sun till dine, but seas between us grey road since old Lang Syne. For old Lang Syne, my Joe, for old Lang Syne, we'll tat a cup of kindness yet for old Lang Syne. And there's a hand my trusty fear, and gives a hand of thine, and we'll tap the right good winny port for old Lang Syne. And surely there'll be your pint stout, and surely it'll be mine, and we'll tack a cup of kindness yet for old Lang Syne. For old Lang Syne, my Joe, for old Lang Syne, we'll tack a cup of kindness yet for old Lang Syne. For old Lang Syne, my Joe, for old Lang Syne, we'll tack a cup of kindness yet for old Lang Syne.
Thank you, Janet and Tony. Right, that's it for this evening, because it is. Yeah, that's it. But I have thought of a great prize for next year's raffle. We'll have a bottle of red, a bottle of white, and an LP of Jimmy Shand, because I happen to have one at home that my mum and dad used to listen to. Right, big hand for all the floor singers. A big hand for all the slaves in the kitchen. And yes, thank you everybody for coming. Thanks for looking out for Scottish songs. That's been good. We'll see you
2 weeks.
2 weeks' time, the 4th. Yeah, on the 4th. And for those of you who are going to get up, if you could think of a little...